My name is Polly Romine. I'm going to go through the state funding ledger and billing process. We're going to start with the billing ledger. You're going to find that in the files section of your grant. You're going to download it and open it up. The very first tab is your approved state fund budget. This tab is locked for editing. This is to preserve that budget. If you need to adjust anything in here, then you need to make sure you get with your grant analyst and do an amendment. You're going to see any of the things that were put on that original ledger when we started the state funding process. When I'm ready to go bill, I'm going to go to the first tab, which is either the first quarter or the first month. This training is applicable to the month or the quarter. So in quarter one, there will be there will be boxes that are locked, and there will be boxes that are open for editing. You're going to put in your point of contact information, the person completing this form, and then you start with personnel, put in your name of your employee and the position. You're going to put in the total quarter agency salary. This amount is the total amount that the agency has paid on behalf of the employee for the total quarter or month. If you're billing quarterly, you will have some quarters that are smaller than other quarters. There's generally 480 hours in smaller quarters and 560 hours in bigger quarters. 480 and 480 and 560 and 560 equal 2,080 hours, which is 40 hours a week full time. So that's why I am saying 480, 560. So to help you understand that this amount right here, the total quarter agency salary, should be the total amount of hours that were paid on behalf of the victim. And same, or the employee, sorry, not the victim. So the same goes for fringe. This is the total amount of fringe paid on behalf of the employee, regardless of funding source, state, local, county, federal. This is the total amount. So the state funded salary for the quarter will be the amount that you're asking for the grant to be reimbursed. These are the hours or the time that was worked on the grant. The percentage is going to auto-populate when we put an amount in here. You're going to see that this amount auto-populates in row 9, which is going to be important when we go to bill. When I put that back, the amount goes in and also the percent populates. This percent here helps us get the allowable fringe amount. We're hoping this feature of the ledger helps agencies not to overbill the fringe. Overbilling the fringe has been one of the most present, one of the most common audit issues that agencies have been finding through your audit. So we're hoping that this will help agencies not do that. Fringe and personnel go together. So the amount of time worked on your grant, you can only bill that amount of time or dollars for fringe. If we have other trainings out there regarding this situation. So if you have questions, let your grant analyst know. So anyway, we have 91.67% of allowable fringe in here. You can bill up to this amount of fringe. You don't have to bill the total amount of allowable fringe, you can bill less. So these amounts are going to auto-populate for us right here in row 9. Fringe and personnel is going to auto-populate down here. This is the only section of the budget ledger that does this. All the other sections you need to manually put in the amount. We are asking that you put notes in here. For instance, you can see that I've put that the employee worked a total of 480 hours in the quarter. We're only billing 434 of those hours, and the hourly wage And we also put in some information about fringe do that for each employee. You can see here in supplies, we're going to list out what was purchased. These notes help the auditor, your grant analyst, and they also help you and your agency know what was billed, why. They come in handy when somebody leaves or somebody is on vacation or sick, or you need help filling out this ledger to remind yourself what you billed and why in previous months or quarters. So we are asking that you fill out this note section. And again, remember, you put in this amount. These amounts will populate up in row 9. So we're going to take this ledger, we're going to save it, download it somewhere where I can access it, because I will have to attach it to the file section of my payment request. So that means I'm going to go over to the grant management system. I'm going to log in and go to my applications. I'm going to find the grant that says state funding and funded. You want to make sure that if you have other grants, you don't accidentally bill a state funding payment to a federal funded grant or vice versa. Remember that when we go into our grants, we're going to go in through the number off to the left. The file section again is where you would have found your ledger to fill out. We're going to go to payment requests, new payment request, select the year. There's only one year. We're going to do Q1, but if you were doing monthly billing, you would select your correct month. Select create payment request, and then this box is going to appear. I know that it's not very super friendly, like it's not user friendly exactly as to what do I do now, but we're going to click this box and it's going to open up our payment request. That is kind of confusing, and that's a step that people forget. All right, so here's our payment request. I'm going to upload my file right here of my ledger that matches what I'm going to put in here. I'm going to have my ledger handy, so I'm putting in exact amounts right here. So to enter in dollar amounts, I'm going to go to this X over here. When I clicked on the X, it opened up a little thing down here. I'm going to hit my little green pencil and it opens up this box. And right now we want all the sources to say federal. This is so confusing. Our system admins were not able to get this changed from federal to state. We're hoping in the future that it will. But make sure that your payments say federal source. If they say anything other than federal, your payment will, the dollars will not attach to the payment. I'm going to put in my total amount for my ledger. So row 9. Oh, personnel. Okay, see, I'm going to make sure I don't do that wrong. So personnel is 12,531. I'm going to have that handy. I know there was some sense there, but I'm pretending. So then we can see that that is there. I'll do fringe. Each category you need to add in, each category on its own. You can see that the federal amount is in here, the quote unquote state amount is in here. We're going to add some federal or some fringe. Make sure the source says federal. The override amount, let's see, was 6875. I'm going to put that in there. Hit save. We're going to see that that populates right here into my payment request total. There was some supplies. I think there was 500. I'm not going to guess. I'm going to go over. Yes, it's in the ledger. We put that in as well, supplies. And as you can see, I only need to do this one time. So even if I had a whole bunch of employees, fringe personnel, because the way the ledger is set up, all of these employees would be populating into one amount up here. So we just use that very one override amount box for all of our items. And once I'm done entering it in, and this number down here at the total matches my ledger, all of these individual items, dollar amounts, match my ledger. My ledger is attached. We're pretending that it's attached. Once everything's done, I'm going to hit submit for approval. And I'm going to get a little success, submitted successfully notification that my payment's been submitted. All right. Thanks for your time. I will see you on a different training.